Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Dear participants. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear with us. Thank you. Good afternoon. Dear participants. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear with us. Thank you. Good afternoon. Dear participants. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear with us. Good afternoon, dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear with us. Good afternoon, dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. Thank you. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at 2:15 p.m. Kindly bear. Good afternoon, dear participants. Dear participants. The resource person will join at 2:15. The resource person will join at 2:15 p.m. Please kindly bear with us. Bear with us. Thank you. Thank you. The session will start at
Good afternoon, all. This is Professor Suresh Kumar,
Madam,
Bangalore.
excuse me, sir.
I joined long back, 10 minutes back.
Excuse me,
Anyway,
sir.
it appears there is a
Suresh, sir. Suresh,
Yeah.
please
Yeah,
wait.
tell me, sir.
Please wait a minute, sir. Just wait.
Shall I
Respected,
close my video?
one minute, sir. One
Okay.
minute, please bear with us. Sir, your voice is clear, sir, no doubt.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Respected participants, good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to the last session of 5-day FDP program in collaboration with Commission of College Education, AP Vijayawada. Today we have 2 resource talks followed by validity session. We are expecting Commissioner Sir, Honorable Dr. Pola Bhaskara Garu at any moment. So I request all the participants to online with us. Today's evening session have 2 resource talks. One is from Professor T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu, who is a Senior Director, Quality Assurance, Alliance University, Bangalore, followed by Dr. K. Vijayababu Garu, who is OSD for Naac, Office of Commissioner of College Education, AP Vijayawada. Now I request Dr. S. Raladevi Garu and S. Hanumantarao Garu of our college to introduce Professor T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu. I request Dr. S. Raladevi Garu, in charge Department of Hindi of our college, to introduce Professor T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, respected Principal, and all my fellow staff members are very fine. Good afternoon. I, Dr. A. Sarladevi, working as Hindi lecturer in SSN College. It is my pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Dr. T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu. Dr. T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu, discerning senior academic and research professional, who is being extended a warm invitation to the oncoming 5 days faculty development program organized by SSN College in collaboration with CCE. Dr. Kumar's profile is a testament to his season's expertise, unwavering commitment to growth, and outstanding organizational skills. With an instable trust for professional development and relentless pursuit of knowledge, Dr. T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu epitomized a driven and accomplished academician. His rich experience and commitment span a spectrum of areas not only to his individual growth, also to the holistic enhancement of educational practice. Dr. Kumar's innovative techniques and research methodologist stands as a beacon, consistently generating invited community commitment and dedication among both students and fellow staff members. His committee's commitment to educational progress goes beyond the conventional, showcasing a high level of initiative and curriculum development and exploring extracurricular activities. The hallmark of his approach lies in fostering student-centered cognitive learning techniques that innovating in innovation enthusiasm among learners while emphasizing the vital speech of value-based education. Diligence and resourcefulness are native in his professional character and underpicked by the intellectual, analytical, and communicational skills. An active participation in the academic community. Dr. Kumar is a regular resource at the seminars, workshops, and self meetings. Contribute to his insight here, learning fervently. Continuation, Mr. Hanumantrao Garu, hand over the program.
Shall I start, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, shall I start?
Dr. Kumar's vocal prowess is remarkable, characterized by clarity, attractiveness, and well-controlled delivery. Proficiency in English and Hindi, essential for effective instruction, is an integral part of his teaching toolkit. His skill set crafting calendars, orchestrating academic council meeting, and meticulously handling data aligns with his proactive involvement in various committees and statutory bodies like UGC, AICTE, COA, and MHRD. Dr. Kumar has played a pivotal role in the execution of Memorandum of Understanding with esteemed national and international institutions and organizations, a testament to his strategic vision and collaborative spirit. His expertise extends to subject consultation for policy documents, which adds depth to his extensive involvement and in accreditation process and academic advisory roles. Dr. Kumar's prowess in project execution is understood by his accomplishment in obtaining funds and carrying out projects in collaboration with entities such as DST, CASSA, DRDL, DRDO, and UGC, as well as consultancy ventures with renowned organizations. His contribution to scholarly literature are substantial, with a remarkable count of 127 publications in esteemed journals and conferences. Dr. Suresh Kumar's remarkable journey as a senior academician and research professional is a beacon of inspiration. His multifaceted competencies, unyielding commitment to educational advancement, and extensive contribution make him an invaluable asset to the academic community. The forthcoming FDPD stands to gain immensely from his participation, and we eagerly anticipate the insight and perspectives his well-being to the program. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. S. Raladevi Madam and Sri S. Hanumantrao Garu for giving a brief introduction of our today's resource, sir. Now I request Professor T.V. Suresh Kumar Garu to give his resource talk, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your wonderful this one. It is a very long, even I too don't know that much. I got inspired by the way they welcomed me.
Sir,
anyway, coming to our audible, sir, it is clear?
Yes, sir, it is clear. Audible, sir. Audible.
Yeah. So coming to our regular related to FDP, I was part of quite, forget about Karnataka, I am working and others, quite part of government colleges. In fact, earlier I suggested to form as a cluster because quite for some time I worked in Naac also. So I suggested to form a cluster to some government proposal. Anyway, that is different topic. Now coming back to your own title of this one, institutional effectiveness, effective assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP. Yeah, this has become a buzzword. In my earlier, I was listening to any two faculty meeting in college. They were talking about promotion, increment, teaching, or something about some novels, evening, what kind of novels or movies. Days are changed. Now any two faculty meeting, they are talking only about NIRF, NAC, and of course engineering colleges means NBA. So no two faculty are free enough to talk about anything other than these three components. Essentially, they are all triggered with major works, NAC or NIRF or NBA. They are triggered with more works. The essence of this one is there is a global change of higher education system. You need to provide products which are compatible to higher education system. One of the predominant features, I think earlier speakers would have touched upon, the basic idea which we triggered and we noticed in the NEP is, most of you would have read it, but in earlier system, when a student entering into the 3 years program, if he is leaving after 2.5 years or without completion of 5 years, but staying 3 years on the campus, he don't have any job opportunities or anything to talk about. So in this NEP predominantly, that got rectified through the window of exit option. So designing a curriculum addressing the exit option is a challenging one, because in 3 years course, if a person exits, at what time exits, what are the skills, knowledge, attitude levels you need to have, is a challenging one to design curricula. Majority earlier speaker would have touched upon you. These are all NBA, NAC accreditation or international accreditations. They're all derived from Malcolm Baldrige principle of performance excellence. But basically coming to your NAC, it appears you are more focused into NAC. So the idea is, if you observe closely the 7 criteria, any institution curriculum is hard, especially in autonomous system. That is why coming days there will not be any affiliation system. Autonomous systems curriculum need to be developed comparable with globally, because now our higher education changed to global level scenario. So our products, that means students need to be face the competition, global level attributes. That what essentially we say in NEP also. So that is the first criteria you will come across. When it comes to second criteria, to teach that curricula, one must have a better teaching learning process. That means we test it as a qualified teachers are available or not, or well-designed learning methodologies are there or not. That is what second criteria touch upon. In brief, I am saying, so it has to be integrated, all 7 criteria. Even though we work in silos, individual faculty assigned the roles, responsibility, but the governance reflects on the integral way. It is not mutually exclusive way. Third criteria is essentially how you are updating your technology, you in the sense faculty. So basically it is technology or what you call your knowledge related to your domain or anything. So in that aspect, research and innovation is the one of the parameter, especially more into autonomous systems. First 3 criteria, that is only addresses. Having said that, have you provided a physical infrastructure? That is 4th one. Then after seeing that, whether really your student with your efforts, with your learning process, they have progressed well or not, that is 5th one. But interestingly, governance will come last. Actually, governance should be first one, but having it is coming over a period of time, it is coming 6th criteria, essentially governance, which helps to execute the curriculum. Basically, remember that curriculum is hard. So coming back to our business, Naac I appraised you. Hopefully earlier this one they would have given you a glimpse of it. Is it visible, sir? Slides?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So basically, a formal, I'll tell you, whenever you want to stop, organizers can hint me because 3 o'clock we will stop. So you need to have a thorough understanding. Yeah.
Sir, please continue up to 3:15, sir. Vijay Babu, sir, we are expecting by 3:15.
Okay, hopefully 3:35, sir. Actually, I was in another meeting.
No
I
issue.
told to prepone, I cut down
No
that
issue.
to 3 o'clock.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Just I want to make you see, as read by several this one, I thank them, but I am not actually I am a different, not that much available to FDBs as a resource person, because our close friend Venkatnath mentioned
Yes,
this
sir.
is the college. I like this one. Anyway, look into this one. See, I will take you to the my objective is, even within half an hour if I complete. Objective is ground level. I am a teacher. There are NEP is there, NAC is there, NIRF is there. All people are coming and every day my HOD is blasting me. You do that one, you do this one. So what I have to do essentially as a teacher, whether I have to change my teaching methodology? No. Whatever teachers we are doing, we need to do, but we need to understand the global level competition and we have to drill down that scenario of global level to the question paper. That is the problem, I will tell you. That is why I kept this as policy to accreditation. Accreditation essentially requires all the criteria. Even if you see, I want a ground level, I am teaching and I am assessing through question paper. That is ground reality. What are all these buzzwords nationally or internationally coming across? So if you look into this, any doubts you can between you can ask me. Any doubts are there, you can make me. See, this is the typical education system we are facing. Correct? We enter into something, we will be graduating. We are not that much aware of the global level competition like creativity or discipline or intelligence. We don't know how to measure also. But ultimately, that system is prevailing. As I mentioned earlier, 2.5 year degree completed but not got passed in final year means he don't have any job to do. That is rectified majorly in what you call in our system. So, but still it is a difficult task for teachers, because teachers with NEP, they want to make student to be creative, well-established attitude, critical thinking, cooperation, participative learning, responsible citizens of India. They need to learn love of learning, like lifelong learning, and they do reflect all the better qualities as a competitive professionals or graduates. But student point of view, if this fellow gives me marks, first I will go out of class. That is sufficient for him. So NEP needed a strong foundation to address this, how to bring that changes into the system. Then only once it is in the system, definitely we will be able to complete. So why simply have not kept your slide here. This you can observe, it is a multidisciplinary, but parent route is that. I will tell you what is difference between them. Then quickly I will pass on to this. Of course, you would have heard about all this one, developed all this one, but Rangarajan, Professor Rangarajan, Kasturi Rangan, in the Naac office only, he did have very small office. He developed so much of material by consulting several people. But essentially, if you look into the last one, Kasturi Ranga, 31st May 2019, last line. So extraordinary feedback, he consulted the committee constituted under him, worked in very small room, and is very good work he has done to address these kind of issues in our higher education system, because we need to have several heterogeneous population across India. It is not similar. So in fact, that is the one of the reason under the reforms we are having NAC reforms also, National Assessment Accreditation Council. and National Board of Accreditation, all these accreditation bodies may be merged as per the policy. So that is there. But if you look into that one, there must be flexibility of the subjects. Please understand, you need to be very careful about understanding of multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary means it is not only mixing of the subjects. It is the thing you need to address how your subject or course is addressing at least one example with reference to other domain, other discipline. That is money. Then credit transfer and academic bank of credits. Already speakers would have touched upon that. Academic bank of credits is there. If a person or student discontinues his studies, his roll number, his academic bank of credit credentials are available. How many credits he completed. After some time, he may join some other university and you can look into that. Okay, so slowly it is become phasing out affiliation system, and independently you need to have your own curricula. So remaining all this, you may be knowing that. I don't want to spend time on that. This is part of this one as a old topic. Earlier it was 6 to 8 class, this one, and later graduation, all this one. This is the school education and functional foundation and secondary. Now come back to our original discussion point of time. Moving towards higher educational system consisting of large multidisciplinary. This is the technical definition of NEP, not mine. What at least one in or near every district with higher education across India that offers the medium of instruction in local languages. Okay, this is one of the definition they envisaged with reference to NEP. So multidisciplinary education is they are promoting. How it is possible? So I must know what is that first one, because there are hundreds of subjects are available within limited classroom hours, within limited time, limited academic year, limited semester. Is it possible to do everything? Because I have to evaluate also, because so many subjects I have to address. How it is very difficult unless you have a teamwork. So, but basically, what is that multidisciplinary? Because universities, they are defined as it is in NEP. A multidisciplinary institution of higher learning offers undergraduate, postgraduate with high quality teaching, research, community engagement. Please remember, education purpose is not only teaching and research. Research is for updation of the skills of the teachers, but as a teachers and faculty, students also. But you need to address societal problems. That is community engagement. These three only will be brought up in any accreditation manual. Please understand. Accreditation means don't worry, NIRF means don't worry. These three dimensions you need to work out, then only this one. Just I want to have a look into what is meant by multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, monodisciplinary. So many terms are floating around and people are coming, conducting workshops. And ultimately, as a teacher, it is our responsibility to know what exactly it is, because we are only the bridge between any policies or any what you call curricula to the students. We are only the strong bridge. If we are strong bridge only, we can deliver a strong what you call authentic and global level standards to our students. We can make them as our product. So essentially, keeping that in view, I have given you some observation on monodiscipline. Means simply it is a single discipline. The programs that only pertain to single field of study. Single field of study. For example, medical, dental, similarly physiotherapy, several are there. But it comes to multidisciplinary definition I have not given, keeping you of our time. I am having a discipline A. I may take several concepts from other discipline B, C, D, E, but I am the owner of that discipline. Whoever research problem I am solving, that is my problem, my department, but I have taken concepts from other domains. That is essentially multidisciplinary. Whereas you evaluate a research problem where it is taking methodologies from A, B, C, D, E of several things, all methodologies included in one thing, that is an interdisciplinary. Here ownership problem may come. So the advantage is whoever dealing with that research topic is the owner. So this is interdisciplinary. Cross-discipline, there is an intersection point. That means the results are applicable to discipline A, discipline B, discipline C. That way it is cross-discipline. Transdisciplinary. So it crosses several, this one research topic. It goes from different domains to other domains also. That creates the transdiscipline. But however, when it comes to applying this scheme to real example, the boundary that what you are looking into above diagrams are some of 4 categories just I mentioned, but they may open for interpretation. But before starting your course or your program, either it may be BSc, MPC or BA Economics, you need to define multidisciplinary in the above slides context. So in summary, NEP recognizes, identifies unique capabilities of each student. Because I told you now, you will be seeing in my subsequent slides, they have derived key descriptors. The syllabus is around that key descriptors you need to design. So flexibility for learners, no hard separation of subjects, multidisciplinary. Again, you see multidisciplinary. Honor is one. That is why you would have seen in earlier talk, major, minor. That means you are defining what is the degree name. That is multidisciplinary. It is taking inputs from several other subjects. So that is what honor is multidisciplinary and holistic education. Emphasis on conceptual understanding, creativity. I have shown you in diagram also what earlier system to this system you need to have. So promoting multilingualism. This is very important. Local language. If you are writing textbooks, government is funding. If you write anything in this one, suppose mathematics, if you write in Telugu, you will be given funding from central government also. So there is a formative assessment or learning summative. There are 2 types of assessments. You would have heard earlier in several accreditation or talks. Essentially, assessment is different, evaluation is different. There is a slight difference. Evaluation will ultimately result in a grade awarding, but assessment is data collection of a performance of the student. From data collection, analysis, modification, and report generation, and assessing the evaluation also. Okay, so these are the things you need to have. In summary, NEP inclusiveness also there. That is a gross enrollment ratio. They have increased some percentage to some 50% or so, from 27%, 35% or so. The numbers are available on internet. But the idea is to promote autonomy across all institutions. Coming days we have distance education also. Anyway, we will come on to very important. What is our definition? See, NEP defines basically on learning outcomes that I told in earlier slide. No, each student learning outcome. What does it mean? The abilities student need to demonstrate after completion of a program of 3 years duration, or a student demonstrates the abilities after completion of a course. If it is a course, it is called course learning outcome. If it is program abilities, program learning outcomes. Ability means mental power or physical power of an action to perform a task. That is what ability means. So, in summary, ability
Respected participants, due to technical problem, at resource person, sir, there is an interruption. Please wait for a few minutes. Sir will join us within few minutes. Suresh Kumar, sir, kindly unmute your device, sir. Suresh Kumar, sir.
is it audible now?
Yes, sir, but video is not visible, sir. You are not visible.
Because video comes means internet is getting down.
Okay, okay, sir. No, you are audible, sir.
Slides are visible?
No, sir. No.
Slides.
No, no, sir. No. Slides are visible only when you on video, sir.
No. Sharing, I have done that.
Okay. But we are
Sharing
not.
would have been again missed.
Okay, sir. We are not seeing any slides, sir.
Now,
Yes, it seems to be sharing, sir. Just wait. Yes, sir. Yes. Now the slide 31 slide, sir. It is showing
yeah.
introduction.
So this is the framework. So where I stopped, I think it is abilities where we stopped. See, we are having a program for 3 years, and it is expected there must be some attributes, or we call it as abilities to be demonstrated, program outcomes for a program. If it is a course outcome. So that is essentially called those abilities outcome-based education framework. So what are the educational levels we are offering? It is 4.5 to 8 in higher education NEP. And you need to design and develop curriculum. Designing and develop means syllabus, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, exit option you need to give. Then only it is called developing also, including instructional messages. How you assess that? See, abilities needs to be assessed. Nowadays, people in several talks would also, as we can include sports, music, all this. That assessment is very difficult. For example, sports, if you see a football player, if he wants to hit the ball, he need to have a cognitive domain as well as psychomotor domain. So assessing is a soundproof system need to be developed for that. That is what total cycle is called outcome-based education. This is only for information. You can go based on this. This is developed, this NEP. If already it is done, I can skip this. No problem. 1 minute, I will keep that. This is what essentially you are seeing. SDG goal for UN goals for sustainable development goals. Goal number 4 is for education globally, inclusiveness and equality of quality education and promote lifelong learning. This is essentially we are talking about. So then credit system, you some they would have completed some this one. I want to quickly take you to the what essentially for higher education related, what they are looking for. So higher education is basically is an outcome-based framework as per the definition. That outcome-based education framework I mentioned, it is what is the syllabus you are developing with reference to the global level attributes, or what you are carrying out learning outcomes program level, as I told, abilities, and what are the descriptors under which we need to work, how you address multidisciplinary curriculum. Already I covered what is definition of multidisciplinary. It is necessary to define learning outcomes for each level, because as you know, exit option is there now. After first year, if we discontinues, what are the abilities you must be listing out? Okay, under the umbrella of 3 years.
Sir, another interruption, sir. We are not audible, sir.
Second B kada.
Audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, now fine, sir.
In bit slide also visible now?
No, sir. No, sir. Slides are not visible.
In between again it is coming to share.
Now it is sharing, sir.
I think in between it is going
Yes,
back
sir.
to.
It is sharing, sir. Now it is sharing.
So
sir.
now it is 4.5 to 8 levels, our degree, what you call this one. I can tell you in terms of before keeping you of time. Suppose your BCom is there, 3 years program. First, you need to list out each year at least 4 program learning outcomes. What does it mean? Abilities to demonstrate by the student after spending 3 years on the campus or off the campus. Under that, assume that 3 per or 4 per year, 12 program outcomes. Okay. Under that, I am developing my courses. Courses means subjects. Then co-curricular activities like value-added courses, everything. Then extracurricular sports. Now the point is, National Higher Education Quality Framework is a series of sequential stages, because if the BCom person first year, if he is leaving, he need to be have given a certificate of accounting and finance. Example I am talking, you can have different terminology. Similarly, second year means diploma in accounting and finance. Third year is graduated in commerce, something like that. So that if any industry wants them to employ, they can join. Subsequent stage, they can take their academic bank of credits and they can join. Okay. Now come back to our this one quickly. I will go through that. Yes, I will actually stop at this level because there are so many slides to share with you because of time proximity. Please understand, all these program outcomes are all derived from NEP. These are the 6 learning outcomes descriptors. These are all called 6 learning outcomes descriptor. First 3 will go to subjects, courses, which we are taking textbook, and remaining what you call remaining textbook or question paper like this. 10 minutes. Remaining are general learning outcomes, constitutional, humanistic, ethical, and moral values, employment, readily skills. These 6 you need to change it to your program. That is what I told, program learning outcomes. After writing that, in that also you need to be very careful. Suppose 12 you are written, generally 50 are called technical outcomes, remaining 50% are called professional outcomes. That means the person, if he joins in his role after graduation, what are the abilities required, like communication skills, teamwork, okay, lifelong learning, all these may be required. That is essentially D4, D5, D6. And now they included constitutional, humanistics, ethical, and moral values. This is all derived from Bologna process. So constitutional, how you prove that he is a constitutionally committed person. So like that, they have essentially given you 6 descriptors. Under that, you have to derive 12, then you have to come your program outcomes to course outcomes. So this is not acceptable now. They are expecting global level real world skills. You cannot say that I can take only tests. You need to measure. That is why this is essentially just I am displaying you for your purpose. Undergraduate certificate, undergraduate diploma, bachelor of degree, honors degree is 6, postgraduate is 6.5, postgraduate diploma is 6 is. Honors is equal to postgraduate diploma 6.5. Master's degree 2 years, then master's degree, doctoral degree. In essence, you need to understand it is a spiral model. If a person leaving, you need to develop your curriculum like that. That is why my suggestion to who are all maybe in board of studies, you can have in basics, intermediate, advanced, these 3 categories. See, nowhere we can complete any course completely which is required within limited hours, within limited working days. We need to condense our syllabus, which helps them to learn further. So while designing your syllabus, first year to third year or first year PG to final year, you need to be very careful what level of outcomes need to be there at that level. So these are the things which choice based they have given. I think you would have gone through that. Academic credit, 1200 years per hour, classroom teaching, story writing competition, debate, performing arts, all these are the
Sir, not audible, sir. Respected participants, kindly wait, sir. The host will join within a few minutes.
I think problem we don't know where. Okay, I opened mobile also same side.
Yes, sir. Now it is audible, sir. Now it is audible.
So again, I think I have to share, no? So essentially, you need to concentrate on program outcomes every year so that it will help you to design your curricula. As I mentioned, generally 50% will be directly comes to your courses, remaining like internships, which you are seeing on the screen. They are all the co-curricular learning activities. Once he joins in industry or any role, he need to play. So all these are the total learning hours distributed in National Credit Framework. Already some speakers would have been covered this. Any doubts you can mail me. Mail is available with organizers. So we need to be very careful when we are conducting 3 years program. Otherwise, problem crops up and it will be back again. So here calculations, this is available on internet. Curriculum main features of curriculum framework. But basically, you need to understand how many key indicate descriptors we have shifted to program learn outcomes. From there, you need to design your, this is one. So I am giving a structure of your UG program for 120 credits. Credit is the effort exerted by the student to learn this particular activity. So how many minor, multidisciplinary, how many ability enhancement, all these left side, whatever you are seeing, they are all the part of National Credit Framework. Accordingly, you need to develop to address those key element descriptors which we discussed in earlier slide. I think it is a time for you. Time is over. Yes, sir. Shall I continue 5 more minutes?
Sure, sir. Sure. Sure, sir. Please continue, sir.
So I will continue. Actually, these are the terms available, but I will share you one example because limited time. I will share you one example which other context I have went to some other university actually.
మాస్టర్ దగ్గర మొబైల్లోనే ఫెయిల్ అవుతుంది. Respected participants, there is a problem from resource person. So kindly wait. Yeah. Yes, sir. The resource person has joined, sir.
minute I will display one thing and I will conclude my talk. This is a national credit framework. All this you will get it. This is the way you know in national identity. Left side is knowledge and understanding. This is a course or subject related. D2 also skills required, that is subject related. Application, that is also subject related. General learning outcomes are professional outcomes. When he joins, what happens? So those courses must be there. So I worked out for some liberal arts. Assume that the degree is Bachelor of Science with honors in accounting and finance. So you need to give program code and you need to have all the descriptors need to be addressed. So there may be 20 to 24 PLOs for 4 years honors degree, which is displayed on the my notes you can see. So sample I will say you level 4.5. Sorry, it is not level 6. Sorry, level 6 only. Correct. Degree, honors degree. So these are the learning outcomes which I counted accounting and finance. That is okay. Later you can slowly see my slides and see that. These are my notes. These are the PLOs from key element descriptors you have to define. Ultimately, you have to prove your student to have these abilities for accounting and finance. Okay. You can change also. This is only I have just one. After this, what essentially you have to do now, exit option. This is what I am displaying here. Carefully see. Exit option need to be given for every degree. That is why my concluding. It is certificate in accounting and finance. You need to have a separate PLOs for that 1 year. PLO 5, you see, demonstrate ability to join a job ready workforce in accounting and finance. Okay, this is exit option. Entire thing it is syllabus book for you now. Okay. So with this I conclude. Sorry for any not covering in fully. I thank organizers for giving me opportunity. Thank you one and all. You can mail if any doubts are there related to NEP or NAC. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request the participants to raise your hands if you have any query. Sir is ready to answer your queries. Else, you may ask your queries via email also. Is there any query from the participants? Please raise your hand. Fine. Thank
Okay,
you,
you can mail me. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of SSN College and the Commission of College Education. Thank you, sir. Now,
I am leaving, sir. Thank you.
fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, dear M. Venugopal Rao garu, who is a technical advisor. And thank you for your slide preparation. There is a small correction. Sorry is only OSD for Naac, and he is a senior academic officer. There is a small correction, sir. A small apology from my side also. And now, good evening, one and all. I take the great privilege to introduce today's eminent resource person, Dr. Vijay Babu Garu Koganti, who is OSD to Naac, Office of CCE, AP Vijayawada. He is a professor of English with 30 years of teaching experience, with normal qualifications like MA, B.Ed, NET, MPhil, PhD. He got very, very important additional qualifications. He is a master trainer in student-centered methods. He received a diploma in critical thinking skills from the prestigious University of Oregon, USA. And he also received a diploma in designing web-based teaching from University of Oregon, USA. He published 6 English language books, namely Enhancing English and Employability Skills, Poly Skills, published by CUP India, Skill Pro, Skill Jenny, which is internationally popular, Praxis Pro, and Skill Steps 1 and 2 by APSHI. He also published 6 literary books, Ila Ruvudama Rangulu, which is a Telugu poetry, Oka Adivaram Sayantram, Itara Kavitalu, which is also Telugu poetry, Sleeping with the Rainbow, which was English translation from Devi Priya's poems, Padamati Ragam, which was collection of essays introducing writers from the West, The Sparrow and the Cannon, which is a English poetry, and Pineapple Jam, which is a short story. He published 35 research papers in various reputed journals. He conducted 50+ workshops in student-centered teaching, critical thinking skills, communication skills, and soft skills as master trainer. He gave 40+ live TV sessions and 50+ guest lectures. He was a resource person in more than 15 webinars. The additional responsibilities backed by our professor sir as a Naac resource person. He guided more than 70 government degree colleges to achieve good Naac ranking. He is a resource person of APCCE, MHRDI, Getam, and many popular institutions. He is a member on several board of studies and for APSHI. The awards received by Dr. K. Vijayababu Garu are International Scholarships 2 times, State Best Teacher Award in 2017, Sri Nagabhairava Award for Poetry 2018. But he is a bilingual poet, short story writer, translator, and literary critic. With this brief introduction, I request Dr. K. Vijayababu Garu to give his resource lecture to the participants. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Yeah, I thank all the organizers and the participants. Good afternoon to you all. The 5-day webinar series organized by N.College, Narasaraopet have been very illuminating. And there are very good reports and very good feedback about these sessions. And we are really happy to co-host the program rather, because they have been insisting on conducting a qualitative webinar with eminent resource persons, and we are happy that we can share some of the eminent names from across India. And this has this webinar, which is thought to be of a state size, it has grown to the national level with all eminent persons across India and participants also from all over India. Good afternoon to you all. Let me share my screen first in a minute. Please bear with me. Sir, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. It is sharing, sir.
Okay. Yeah, the topic of my presentation is on designing effective policies for sustainable quality in higher education institutions. Yeah, it is getting loaded.
Yes,
Please
sir.
bear with me.
It is displaying loading, sir.
Now it's okay, I think. Okay, are you able
Thanks,
to see this now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fine, thank you. Yeah, the topic of my presentation is designing effective policies for sustainable quality in higher education institutions. For almost a week, almost 5 days, different resource persons have been focusing on the aspect of quality from Naac and NEP viewpoints. And to initiate qualitative aspects and to maintain them and to sustain them, we need different policies in higher education institutions. I would like to start off with a quote by Aristotle. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. Quality is not just one-time process, and quality is always a journey. It is always a continuous process. Let me present to you the objectives of this presentation. After this session, you will be able to understand the need and importance of policies. You will be able to analyze various aspects that contribute for the design of the policy. Because without understanding the structure of the policy, you will not be able to design anything. That's why you'll be able to analyze various aspects that contribute for the design of the policy. You will be able to identify the different policies needed for improving your institution. And I'm also going to share with you some model policies for a discussion. That's why you will be able to observe some model policies of the best institutions in India. And you will also be able to recognize the need for various committees to implement policies for sustainable development. As we just talked about it, quality is not just a one-time process. You need to initiate, you need to monitor, you need to develop, and you need to sustain. Then only quality will be a hallmark of your institution. With these objectives, I am going to present my talk. How can we define the quality of an institution? Dear friends, as this is the interactive session, as we always plan our sessions in an interactive mode, I'd like you to respond now and then. Maybe I may not be pestering you with many questions, but we need to have some interaction, otherwise it will be a monologue. That's why let me start with this question and try to answer from your own end. How can we define the quality of an institution? Please take 1 minute and try to respond. What do you think about the definition of the quality of an institution? How can you measure it? Any answers, please? How can you measure the quality of an institution? Try to respond. Any answers? These aspects.
Sir, may I answer your question, sir?
Yeah. Sir, please mute your devices and then speak. If you are using more than one device, kindly mute them and use one device, please. Yes, thank you. Thank you for responding. Please continue. How can you define the quality of an institution? Yes, sir. If you look at the admissions of the institution, if you look at the teacher profile and performance, the assessment and evaluation practices, the results of the institution, the feedback from stakeholders, infrastructure and other physical facilities offered by the institution, students' progression to higher education and also to employability, and the values and best practices of the institution will decide the quality of an institution. That's why these are framed into 7 criteria by Naac, you all know. And you also have been working hard to present your SSRs on these parameters, and we need to focus on these aspects to decide the quality of an institution. Before we begin, before we go into the analysis of the policies that are needed, let's have a brief discussion. We'll have 3 questions here, and I'll be glad if you can talk about them, if you can share your responses following the technical aspects. Kindly mute all other devices if you have, and speak only through one device and try to answer. These are the 3 questions for you. What do we mean by a policy? What is the difference between a policy and an effective policy? And the third one is, do we need policies for academic institutions? The first question, what do we mean by a policy? If some of you can respond, I'll be happy. I'll wait for half a minute. Please try to respond. What do we mean by a policy? Anybody? Any of you? What do we mean by a policy?
Sir, good evening, sir. The system which we design to achieve something in some institution or in some sector, we call as policy, sir. System which we design to achieve something is called as policy. Sir, am I audible, sir? Pardon?
Am I audible to you?
Sir, am I audible,
Yeah,
sir? Dr. Vijay Babu.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Fine, sir. I'm able to hear you, sir. You are audible.
Okay, you said the something which we design. What is that something I want?
The system, sir. The system which we design to achieve something is called a policy. Something in the sense, the target which we aim at.
Okay.
Normally, the success, the quality, and sometimes, you know, to get the institution flourished in all aspects.
Right.
So, achieve this thing.
You mean the document we design for quality is policy?
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. What is the difference between a policy and an effective policy?
Effective policy is always something which makes us achieve the clear target at which we aim. Effective is nothing but to have the correct result, to have the result which we anticipate from the documents which we design for the flourish of the institution.
Yeah. Most of
Policies
the
are different from
institutions.
effective policies.
Yeah,
Effective means something which is.
That's what I want to focus. Thank you. You see,
result
most of the organizations, it may be business or it may be academics, anything. Most of the institutions will design policies. If they are implemented perfectly, if the result is good, if the outcome is good, they will be effective policies.
Yes.
So we need to design, we need to design policies and they should be very effective. Okay, the third question is, do we need policies for academic institutions?
Certainly, sir.
Yeah, if it is yes, why? If it is yes, why? You see, without policies, we cannot run academic institutions because mere buildings are not academic institutions. There will be teachers, there will be teaching staff, non-teaching staff, there will be administrative staff, ministerial, etc. Without designing a policy, without talking about the procedures, without talking about the outcome-oriented action plans, we cannot run the academic institutions. That's why we need policies. They should be effective, and we need effective policies for academic institutions. And policies are very important, we know. Policies are important for many things. They help an institution establish operating procedures. They try to help for regulation of all major decisions, actions, and principles. They provide a framework for institutional integrity by establishing the vision, mission, and core values, which are very, very essential. They set out expectations and also accountability. Expectations from the management side, from the stakeholders side, and accountability from the working personnel, the teaching, non-teaching, etc. Effective policies will pave steps for effective functioning and communication. Once a policy is designed, it will talk about the procedures, it will talk about how the results can be attained. And they also pave the steps for communication. Why communication? Every time there will be new staff members, maybe new recruitment, there will be teachers in government institutions by transfers. So every time you need not be talking about the policies. If they are documented properly, they will communicate themselves. The staff can be advised to go through the policies, follow the rules and regulations, and work to achieve the outcomes. Don't say no training is needed. Every time we need not train them. And don't say the staff members do not read the policies and we may need another policy to make them read. Don't say that. But once the policies are designed, it will flow through generations of working personnel and the policies will get established over a period of time. If you observe age-old institutions which are still flourishing with the same kind of quality, you can understand how strong the policy system is. The policies also create an ecosystem for learning and teaching. The ecosystem in the context of the academic institutions. Every institution, every organization will have an ecosystem. In the context of the academic institution, it is teaching, it is learning, it is research, it is development, it is outcome-oriented functioning. So this ecosystem will be possible only when we have good policies and effective policies. If you observe, even in our own homes, we will have certain policies for upkeep, maintenance, discipline, mobile usage, etc. So why not good policies in academic institutions? I believe policy documentation is common sense. And without policies, you cannot run a good academic institution. Wherever we go to observe the quality of the institutions, we ask for policies. Even during the recent visits, the Naac peer team members are also asking for the policies for various measures followed by the institutions. And in some good institutions, they are being maintained, and in some, the policies are not available. The policies are very important because they promote consistency. Why consistency? How it can be achieved? Through calendars, through scheduled steps, consistency can be achieved by the policies. The policies promote efficiency and effectiveness also. Efficiency in academics and effectiveness in administration. So when you design a policy, sir, can you please mute all other participants?
Sure, sir. Because you are asking questions, we have unmuted them, sir.
Yeah.
We'll mute all.
Yeah. Because the
Sir, మీరు unmute అవ్వండి, sir. Sir, please unmute your device, sir.
Okay, thank you. Efficiency in the sense of academics and effectiveness from the administrative viewpoint. When you design a policy in an academic institution, it is from both the sides, as both our eyes make a single vision. Efficiency and effectiveness, academics and administration, make the institution a glorious one. The policies also help to mitigate and manage institutional risks. If it controls the irresponsibility among the staff, it also prevents the blame game, that who is responsible for what. The blame game also can be controlled if you have an effective policy. And the legal, ethical issues also can be managed by the institutions if they have good policies. A good policy supports compliance and adherence with the accreditation requirements. When we were all young as students, this accreditation process was not there physically, but institutions were accredited and there were great admissions, there were great teaching, there were great results also. But now, as we need to quantify everything, the assessment and accreditation process has stepped in, and to contribute for a strong accreditation process also, the policies contribute. In a word, the policy offers the key for the success of an organization. And for this, to design various policies, we need to prepare a manual of policies, and this manual sets the expectations, enhances employee productivity, ensures the responsibility of stakeholders, acts as a reference guide, acts as a communication tool, and it promises accountability, and it institutionalizes the mechanisms that should be followed. It helps to monitor the progress of implementation. Once again, let me briefly talk about these things. The policies set expectations from admin and academic side. The policies enhance the employee productivity. The policies ensure the responsibility of stakeholders. The policy acts as a reference guide, as a communication tool. The policies promise accountability. It increases the sense of responsibility and ownership, because this ownership is not seen in most of the institutions. When the staff do not develop this sense of ownership, the institutions cannot flourish. And the policies institutionalize the mechanisms that should be aimed for quality. Very unfortunately, this institutionalization is not found at many places. And the policy also helps to monitor the progress of implementation. Right. Till now, I have briefly talked about the importance of policies, why do we need policies, and the importance or significance of a policy manual that should be prepared by the institutions. And before I proceed to talk about more about the design and structure of policies, let's have a very quick check. There are some questions here on the screen. Sudhir sir, you can unmute others if they want to talk. There are some questions there on the screen, maybe 4 questions, 3 true or false statements and 1 objective one. Yeah, policies need not be changed every year. Is this true or false? Policies need not be changed every year. Is this true or false? Anybody can answer. Any one of you, please. Do you have static policies?
Sir, I think this is a false statement, sir. We have to change policies every year. We need to do that.
Okay, fine. Okay, the
In
second
my
question.
opinion, this is false, sir.
Yeah. Yes, it is correct. And then a good policy document.
Sir, am I
Okay, I
audible,
have
sir?
given. Yes, you are audible. You are audible. Okay, there are 5 statements here. Please choose any 4 answers. A good policy document should be practical, should be practicable, should be ambitious, should focus mainly on assessment criteria, should fix stakeholders' responsibilities. Can you choose only any 4 of the following, please? A good policy document should any answers?
Sir, it should be fixed to stakeholders' responsibility, sir, as I believe.
Okay, you can choose any 4.
Any 4, except C. I choose 4, sir. No,
Okay, it
no,
should
no.
be practical.
1 minute, sir, 1 minute. Except should be practicable, practically.
I think Guru Pratap has raised a hand. Can you answer, Guru Pratap?
Mainly on assessment criteria.
Okay, can we pass the chance to others? Okay. Yes, Guru Pratap Reddy. One Mr. Guru Pratap Reddy raised a hand. Yes, please answer.
Except B, I just go with all the other 4, sir.
Okay. 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 Yeah. There's one Guru Pratap Reddy who raised a hand. A good policy document.
The host is not allowing. Okay, but current view is shared. Double tap to hide toolbar. Current view is shared. Double mute my audio button 1 of 9 in list. The host has started broadcasting the meeting on
Good evening, sir.
Double tap to hide
Yeah,
toolbar.
good evening.
So I would only ambitious that point.
Okay, you believe that it should be removed, right?
Yes, sir. So even all the 4 are
Current view is
more
shared.
or less
The host has started broadcasting the
relevant
meeting on YouTube.
to policy document.
The host has
They're
started
more
broadcasting.
relevant. right?
Yes.
A
Yes, sir.
policy document should be practical, it should be practicable, it should focus mainly on assessment criteria, it should fix stakeholders' responsibility. Yes, yes, Guru Pratap, right. Okay, the next one, policy document should also include procedures.
Current view is shared. Double tap. Current view is shared. Double tap to hide.
True
Current
or
view is shared.
false?
Use my audio button 1 of 9 in list.
Policy document should also include procedures. Is it true or false? Anybody? Should a policy document include procedures or not? Anybody? Yeah, it should include procedures, right? Okay, when there are policies and procedures, committees are not required. When there are policies and procedures, committees are not required. Is it true or false?
Sir, both are essential, sir.
Very nice.
They are
When you have-
important.
Yeah, when there are policies and procedures, committees are also required. Okay, thank you. Okay, then let us focus on how we can design policies and how we can structure a policy. So we have agreed that there should be policies, procedures, and committees, right? So the policies are designed to set the expectation for employee behavior, and the procedures they will outline the steps for execution of the policy, and the committees, they implement policies through prescribed procedures. So the three are very important, not just designing a policy. The policy should have procedures for execution, and there should be committees that to implement the policies through prescribed procedures. I think you will have some policies in your institution, right? Can you share some of the policies which you have in even your institutions? Can you name at least 4 or 5 policies you have in your institutions? Anybody? Some policies, maybe 2 or 3 at least. What policies do you have in your institutions? We know that every academic institution will have some policies. Otherwise, the institutions will not flourish. To maintain quality, we need to design some policies. And what are those some policies in your institutions? Okay. Let us focus on how we can draft a policy. If you have participated in drafting a policy, you will be able to understand this. How can we draft a policy? We appoint core committees. We brainstorm with the core committees. We create a list of priorities. We determine which task or policy needs detailed procedures. And then we organize the information into a logical order. We prepare the document, and then we fix the responsibilities. Without fixing the responsibilities, without detailing the procedures, the policy cannot be complete. So to design a policy, first you need to brainstorm, create a list of priorities, determine the tasks, organize the information in a logical order, and then you should be fixing the responsibilities. I'm going to discuss or showcase some model policies, and I will show you how great institutions fix their responsibilities also. And we should remember that policies and procedures are not static. They're always dynamic. With the changing trends of time, we need to change the policies and procedures. You see, till now we have the grading system with Naac. but very soon it is going to disappear. You all know that. And we are going to have a new policy, whether the institution is graded, accredited or not, or nearer for accreditation, ready for accreditation like that. So in that context, we need to change our policy once again. So from time to time, we have to change our policies and procedures. So how can we design a policy? Let's focus on that. You need to, after brainstorming and fixing things, you need to fix the title for the policy. There will be different kinds of policies, we know that. We have to fix the title. You have to write the policy statement or the description for the policy. Then you need to talk about the objectives or the purpose of the policy, why you are trying to introduce the policy, why you are going to implement the policy in your institution. And then you have to design or to talk about the scope of the policy manual and procedures, and how you are going to implement the policy at various stages, and what are the roles and responsibilities, who should be taking part in the design and implementation of the policy. And then you have to talk about the action plan, when the policy has to be implemented, how it has to be implemented. And then you have to give certain references, because when you design a policy, you will be referring to so many acts, you will be referring to so many procedures, legal and other procedures. You have to give the references there. And then you also can add a help page for contacting the right kind of persons in the institution. So these 8 or 9 steps will help you to structure the policy in a very constructive way. First, the title of the policy, then the policy statement, why you are going to introduce the policy, a kind of description or a preamble. And then you have to talk about the objectives or the purpose of the policy. Then you have to talk about the conditions in which the policy is going to be thought of and going to be implemented. And then the scope of the manual and procedure, the roles and responsibilities that are fixed in the policy, procedural details, action plan, references, and finally the help page. These will help you to design a very good policy. Right. Keeping the assessment and accreditation and NEP 2020 in view, what kind of policies are required by higher education institutions? Please focus on the question once again. Keeping the assessment and accreditation processes and the NEP 2020 in view, which has opened the doors for many things. The Oxfam report, if you have come across, it talks about the advantages and disadvantages of NEP 2020, and it focuses on various strengths and loopholes of the policy also. The Oxfam report is a must readable thing, please remember. And keeping all these things in view, what kind of policies are required by higher education institutions? Any answers? Any quick answers, please? 2 or 3 quick answers. What kind of policies are required by higher education institutions? Anybody, please? You can mention 2 or 3 policies that are required at least. Very important ones. Don't tell me the attendance policy, condonation policy like that, which are very important, policies that are very important for assessment and accreditation and NEP 2020. Any guesses, any presentation, any answers?
Sir.
Yeah.
I think code of conduct
Mhm.
and grading policies.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, if you can mention your name, I'll be happy so that I can know you.
Sir, I am
Okay.
Dr. Anuradha
Okay, right.
from Rajahmundry Women's College.
Okay, okay. Can you talk about some of the
This
policies?
audit policies,
Okay, good, good.
and then most important is I think regarding academic, that is also one of the most important things. I think.
What is that? What is that? Can you elaborate? Can you throw light on that?
Mm,
I think
Violation
two
of
ah,
violation of rules and
okay. Fine. I think two other participants have raised their hands. Can they talk? Thank you, Dr. Anuradha.
thank you, sir. I am Anuradha.
Okay, Anuradha, Doctor, thank you. Right, yeah, there are three participants that raised.
Okay, current Zoom. Mute my current view is share. Double tap. Mute my audio button 1 of 9 in list.
So it should focus on making higher education more student
Current view
centered.
is share. Double tap.
Okay.
Share button 6.
So how do you name the policy?
Sorry, sir.
Current view
How
is
do you
share.
name
Double tap
that
to hide
policy?
toolbar.
On student-centered learning, that's correct. Okay, how can we name that policy?
Student centeredness in tertiary education.
Okay, right. Yes, any other? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any others? Yeah, any others? Any other policies that will help us to get through or achieve better grades or better quality? Grades are only quantified quantity. Yes, yes.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jyotirmay from St. Teresa's College.
Good
Research
evening.
policy is also necessary, I believe, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. You are right. You are right. Any other policies that contribute for the quality of the institution? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you for your responses. Let me share some of the policies which are found in the best institutions across the world. Right, and the code of conduct is very essential. We know that, right? The code of conduct policy and the policy for curricular enrichment. You see, in most of the institutions which I have visited, I do not find this policy, right? There will be academic councils in autonomous institutions, and the academic councils can also be there in affiliated institutions because they need to assess the curricular aspects and they need to fill the gaps. That's why the policy for curricular enrichment is a very important step. It talks about the gaps in the curriculum, how they can introduce certificate courses or add-ons, and how curriculum can be strengthened and what measures can be taken, and such things can go into the curricular enrichment policy. And you see a lot of focus has been laid on cross-cutting issues nowadays, right? And when we were all children, our teachers used to teach them very unconsciously. There was no conscious practice, but they were all dealt with very unconsciously in a regular classroom. Even the chemistry teacher or the physics teacher was talking about life and the important aspects of life, even in a physics class or a chemistry class. And the arts teachers were dedicatedly doing that. But nowadays, a lot of thrust and focus has been laid on cross-cutting issues because these humanitarian aspects are disappearing in the human life. That's why the students ought to be taught about them. That's why the policy for promoting cross-cutting issues through various aspects, through curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities, that's why one policy is required for that. And then the feedback collection and consolidation policy, which is very essential because quality can be improved only through proper feedback, not just the mechanical feedback. I'm going to talk about them also. So the teacher performance assessment policy, the policy for innovative teaching methods, like student-centered methods and use of ICT in the classroom, because we're talking about blended learning, flipped learning, and then the participatory, experiential and problem-solving methods, etc. So if you go to visit any great institution, maybe 20 or 30% of the teachers are implementing these things, and most of the teachers have not. I'm very sorry to say this. That's why there should be a policy in every institution to implement innovative teaching learning methods. And then there should be a policy for teaching slow and advanced learners. In most of the colleges, How do you recognize the slow learners? What is the basis for it? And the teachers don't have any answers. What are the activities you are doing or you are offering to develop the slow learners? There is no answer. They will say bridge courses. They say we are offering material and we are conducting assignments like that. No, certain special steps should be taken to develop thinking skills among the slow learners. And what kind of policy, what kind of activities must go into that? That's why a special policy for teaching slow and advanced learners must be designed and implemented. And then there is a policy for mentoring. Mentoring in the real aspect, in the right perspective, is not seen in most of the colleges. When you go and ask for the mentoring report, what do they show? They will show you some document with a photograph of the student and some scribbled items there. But it doesn't talk about the physical, mental, emotional, psychological aspects that are mentored on regular basis. So it should be implemented properly. That's why the policy for mentoring is also an important aspect. And then there should be a policy for innovative ecosystem. Like every organization, the academic organization or academic institutes will have an ecosystem of their own. Ecosystem doesn't mean the planting of trees or plants or watering the plants like that. In one of the colleges, I found this answer, which is surprising and which is also, humorous and ridiculous. So ecosystem is not that. The academic ecosystem, the practices, the academic practices, the research practices, the innovative thinking practices that go into the institution, they form the ecosystem. Such policies for innovative ecosystems also should be maintained. And then as some of you have presented just now, there should be a policy for research promotion, research ethics, anti-plagiarism, etc. If you as teachers do not follow that, how can the students follow? And then there should be a consultancy policy. And very unfortunately, in most of the assessments or accreditation process, most of the institutions do not have this policy, and which needs to be developed, because most of our teachers are highly qualified. They are offering consultancy, and if you do not have a stabilized policy for consultancy, you cannot grow in terms of academics. So I'm going to share some other policies which are very essential. And the policy for assessment and evaluation. You see, when you try to assess and evaluate students, a policy is required. Continuous internal evaluation, formative and summative evaluation, how it should be done, how the question papers are to be set on the basis of Bloom's taxonomy, and how equal weightages are to be given, and how you can address the slow learner and the advanced learner, how you can promote growth in learning and thinking abilities. Such a wonderful policy is required in all the institutions, not just for autonomous colleges. For all colleges, for all institutions, this is a must and compulsory thing. And then there should be a policy for attainment of outcomes, how the COs and POs are to be mapped, and how the attainment has to be done, how the direct and indirect methods are to be followed for executing the attainment of outcomes. This is a very, very essential thing, and a policy is required for that also. And then education is not just learning within the classroom, within the four walls of the classroom. Unless you extend the mind of the learner into community, unless you take him into community, the student cannot understand the problems faced by the community, and a citizen or as a member of the society or community, he cannot find solutions for that. That's why there should be a policy for community development. It is not just academics, it is academics and industry, academics and community. All these things have to be strengthened and mapped. And then there should be a policy for promotion of research and its facilities. Not just 2 or 3 people publishing papers, writing books, etc. All the faculty members, at least 80% of the faculty members, should be able to concentrate on research and publish at least one paper a year. It is not for boasting of one's merit. It is for promoting knowledge. It is promoting for self-awareness, where we do stand in this global world of competition. If you publish a paper, if the paper is read, if the paper is accessed, you will be able to know where you do stand. That's why to encourage research temper among the faculty, there should be a faculty policy for promotion of research, not just faculty members. If you do not promote this research temper among students, you cannot promote research. And to do that, your institution must be having proper facilities. That's why a policy is required for promotion of research and its facilities. And then the policy for development and maintenance of infrastructure. And once the infrastructure is bought, if it is not maintained properly, if it is not addressed properly, you cannot sustain the quality of the infrastructure. Without infrastructure, you cannot have a good institution also. Right? Nowadays, if the parents peep into your institution, they look for a big ambience, a good ambience, good infrastructure, and then they will admit their wards. And then there is the library development and utilization policy. Now, in most of the colleges, nowadays, most of the peer team members are asking for the utilization aspect of the library. Though there are 36,000 books in a library of a college, the footfall or the e-footfall, both are missing. If the teachers do not themselves visit the library, if they do not have the habit of visiting the library, how can the students develop it? The students naturally and automatically get motivated when they see their teachers in the library. So a policy is now required. When we were all young, when we were all students, our teachers used to motivate us with their presence in the libraries. But what is happening now? How many of the teachers are visiting the libraries to motivate their own students? Tell me. Even if the accession register, issue register, these registers are also not showing the names of the teachers in the books, in the records. This is quite unfortunate. So the library development and utilization policy is a very important thing. And then the student facilities and support activities policy. This is also important because the students are the main stakeholders for us. And then there should be a policy for career guidance and placements. Without that, you cannot show the progress of the institution nowadays, right? And then there should be policy for alumni engagement in the development of the institution. How the alumni has to be engaged to develop the institution. You see, when I visit some colleges, there will be only 1 or 2 meetings with the alumni in a year. How sad it is. The alumni should be engaged properly, and there should be periodical meetings, 4 or 5 periodical meetings, to take their feedback on curriculum, infrastructure, facilities, and also to make them contribute for the development of the institution. That's why a policy is required. You see, the financial management and resource mobilization is a very tough task nowadays. So unless we have a policy for that, we cannot improve this aspect. And then the most important one, not that the others are not important, they're all equally important, but the quality assurance policy. This has to be designed very specifically, very specially, keeping the vision, mission, core values, and objectives of the institution. And then your SWOT analysis will help you to decide the future quality. That's why you need to design this policy in a very effective and in a very planned way. And then the strategy development and deployment policy. You need to consult all the stakeholders. You need to make a SWOT analysis. You need to identify your strengths, and for the next period of 5 years or 3 years, whatever it may be, you should be able to develop strategies and deploy them effectively. And the last one, I believe, these are only some suggested policies. You can add or you can delete whatever you like, but these are very essential for developing an institution. the development of values and best practices policy. The best practices can be from the academics, from the administration, or from the extension services, whatever it is. You have to identify and design policies with a unique nature. And then after talking about the policies, some of the policies which we need to implement, I would like to share with you some model policies designed by Basilius College of Engineering and Technology. I browsed through various manuals and I found this manual to be very useful. And for the first one, for policies, I am going to share with you the policy manual of Basilius College of Thiruvananthapuram, how they have framed excellent policies in the form of a manual. And the second one, Madhav Institute of Technology, Gwalior, they have written their evaluation and attainment policies so well. And I'm going to share with you these two things. Just give me 1 minute. Just a minute. Sudhir Garu, can you see the screen?
Sir, it is.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mark Basilos Autonomous College of Engineering.
Yeah.
It is visible, sir.
Okay, fine. This college has prepared a manual of policies, which is really excellent. And I think each college, each of us, all of our colleges must be focusing on such aspects. The policy documents manual. And they have taken several pains to do that, but it is really good. Just a minute. Yeah. Please see the list of policies they have. Okay, academic policy, admission policy, code of conduct, cultural policy, environment policy, gender equity policy, grievance redressal policy, IT policy, energy policy, physical education policy, and then research policy, water management policy, publication policy, consultancy policy, waste management policy, and then assistive policy. Okay, I would like to show you how they prepared the academic policy document. I like this very much because they included several aspects into this. Okay, as we talked about the policy structure and design, it started with the policy statement and then the objectives. Okay, you see the objectives clearly, carefully. They talked about academic accountability, which is very important, and then how the quality of technical education must be ensured, right? And how to prescribe courses, syllabi, and how to prepare the course materials, delivery of course contents, assessment to enable quality, continuous improvement through quality assurance. Just a minute, please. It has jumped out. Okay, and then they fixed the roles and responsibilities. What is the responsibility of the management, principal and vice principal, internal audit cell, what it should do, the academic deans, what they should do, the PG dean, what he or she should be doing, you see. And then the job chart of the controller of examinations and the head of the department, what he or she should be doing. You please observe how many roles are fixed here. And then what are the job chart, or what is the job chart of the course instructor? When you fix a policy like this with all roles and responsibilities, It will automatically have an impact on the performance of the institution. And then what the module coordinator should be doing. And then what is the role of the mini project in charge? And what should the seminar coordinator do? And then the action plan. Please observe how each step is meticulously prepared and documented. Subject allotment and the preparation of academic calendar, the lecture plan and course information sheet, how it should be prepared by the faculty, and then the attainment of COs, course material and content delivery process, and how the seminar coordinator and the project coordinator should ensure quality, how assignments and tutorials are to be conducted, and result has to be published at regular intervals, and then internal examinations, publishing of the assessment marks. You see, conduct of a class committee and course committee to address the issues related to the course, mapping of assignments, tutorials, skill development workshops, and then academic monitoring and student support. How each committee, the class course committee, advisory system, how each committee should contribute and what are their roles in conducting academic activity in the college. And then various other committees like student welfare committee, grievance redressal committee, disciplinary action committee for the student support. And then how academic auditing has to be done. And then the TLC center, teaching learning center, what it has to do. All these aspects are brought into the academic policy. Such meticulous observation and preparation, a lot of brainstorm and fixing of responsibilities, they will help you to develop the quality in the institution. And I'll share with you the OBE manual that was prepared by the Madhav Institute of Technology, the step-by-step manual. You see, I think you can see the screen, right? Yeah, when you design a manual or a policy for your outcome-based education, they have prepared two manuals. One is a very detailed 25-page manual, and the other one is a 7-page manual, which is very concise and crisp. And then they talk about how you can write the course outcomes for each course, right? And then, sorry, just a minute. How you can write course outcomes, and then how you can map the course COs and POs. And please observe this table. Please watch this table. You can also download and examine it in your groups. The process for mapping the values of COs and POs. What are the skills they are going to focus on? And then the POs and the Bloom's taxonomy action verbs of the program outcomes. And then the Bloom's levels, how they can be, at which level they are, level L3, L2 or L1. And then the COs at Bloom's level, and theory courses level 1 and level 4, like that. If you go through this document, you can understand. And they will also give you the thumb rule for assigning the mapping value. If L1 action verbs of a CO correlates with any of the PO, then assign mapping strength as 1. We will also be doing this. We will also do this mapping. But this kind of presentation, this kind of documentation is very important when you try to design a policy. It needs a lot of observation, a lot of patience, and many rounds of thinking when you finalize it. We were 7 to 12, they focus on the transferable skills, right? And then you see very interesting thing. They give you a graphic representation of their assessment of course outcomes, how the direct assessment and indirect assessment for 80-20, and how continuous assessment and the SEM exam are taken into consideration for 80% of weightage. The course and survey, course and seminar, 1 minute paper writing, which they talk in their BOS or in their action plan, how all these three contribute for the 20% weightage. So then they talk about the assessment process for CO attainment, the direct and indirect methods. The direct method is for tests, direct assessment, assignments, experiments, quiz, etc. And the indirect method for the 20 marks about the feedback, course and survey, etc. And they very minutely and in a very detailed way that they talk about the attainment of COs and POs. And kindly have a look at it. It is Madhav Institute of Technology and Science, Gwalior. A very detailed policy they have prepared. And then they talk about the levels of attainments, how they have to be recorded and how they have to be attained. And then overall attainment of COs. And finally, course-wise, they will show you. You see this kind of mapping, this kind of graphic representation should be done by the examination sections in autonomous colleges. The COE has to, along with the academic council, academic coordinator and other members, the wing has to work it out and display this graphic representation, which clearly gives a guideline for any kind of assessor. For all this stuff, this will be a guiding factor, and they can know how the CO-PO mapping is done for attainment. And kindly go through this document once, because it will help you to learn about many things. So thus I focused on two things. First one is, just a minute. We had a quick look at the manual of policies and how effectively policies can be designed. And I discussed with you how the academic policy of the Basilios College and the attainment policy of the Madhav Institute of Engineering and Technology, how they have done. So once we design the policies, once we finalize the policies, we need to fix committees, design committees and fix them for the implementation of it. You see, committees are very important. If I go to visit a college, there will be 160 committees, but no committee can produce the minutes, no committee can produce a report, and there will be committees on the paper, but they are not functional. Kindly don't think otherwise. This is what I have been watching, and this is what I have been experiencing. There will be many committees in colleges, but the committees should be functional. The committees must have schedules. The committees must have calendars. They must be conducting activities periodically. They must be recording. They must be observing, and they must be reporting to the core committees where the policies are going on well and where they are not going well. And there should be a revision with the help of committees. So if the committees are really functional, literally functional, a college will definitely grow. You know, the committees are like the wheels of a train. And without the wheels, the train cannot move. Though there is a power and there is everything, the committees are very important for the functioning of an institution. That's why the committees must be carefully planned and they must be carefully functional. And we know there are many committees in your institution. I know you will talk about several committees, but there may be 60, 70 committees, but the committees should be functional. The committees must prepare calendars for the academic year, and after preparing calendar for the academic year, they should conduct activities as per the calendar, and the calendar must go, each of the committee's calendar must go into the institutional development plan. And when the committees are functional, when they are conducting activities, when they are reporting properly, when they are observing the gaps in the functioning of the policies, the institution will definitely prosper. Okay, I would like to share some committees which I feel very important, right? Along with the regular committees you have, you can also think about the academic council and curricular needs analysis committee. This is very essential, and I don't find this committee in most of the colleges. And then designing and implementation of certificate courses committee. What courses are required, what add-ons are required, and where we can get the certification, the SWAYAM, MOOCs, etc. And then they should be able to identify the courses and implement them. They make a suggestion to the principal or the management, and thus they can be implemented. And then the outcome attainment committee. It is not the academic coordinator or some other coordinator that should be doing. There should be a separate committee with all the in charges, right? And they should be talking about the outcome attainment process. The feedback analysis committee, the pre-BOS committee, which is very essential in autonomous colleges, because even in affiliated colleges it can function, because they will observe the gaps and they will prepare the revision part of the syllabus, and they will provide justification where a unit has to be replaced, where a unit has to be removed, and what is the need for it, what is the justification for it. If the pre-BOS committee can prepare the justification report with all the inputs, the BOS will be stronger, and the BOS can do miracles with the pre-BOS committee. So there should be one committee like that. And then there should be a committee for the promotion of cross-cutting issues, which is essential. And then there should be a capacity building committee for teaching and non-teaching staff. There should be a capacity building committee for students also. And where the students themselves can be the members, where they can identify the requirements and where they can make a suggestion, and then activities or capacity building activities can be conducted. And then the ICT implementation committee, and where it is required and how the ICT can be brought into the class. They will take care of all the digital equipment, digital resources. They will make suggestions also. And then the research promotion and resource mobilization committee, student support activities committee, examinations committee, and then the result analysis committee, the career guidance committee, discipline committee, library committee, trainings and placements committee, policy development and implementation committee, which is very, very essential in the present day context, and the strategic plan development and deployment committee. Finally, the best practices committee. These committees, if they can focus on several aspects of the institution, there will be a great progress. And then how should the committees function? The committees must be able to understand the policies. They should have a calendar for implementation. Excuse. And then they should plan and conduct activities. And they should record the observations, prepare reports, make suggestions for revising the policies, improving the policies. And they should also contribute for the quality enhancement and sustenance. You see, it is a team activity. Academic institution runs because of the teams, and it is a team activity. The policies, procedures, and the committees, they all go together to make the academic institution a wonderful one. So, as Ron Louis has observed, ensuring quality higher education is one of the most important things we can do for future generations. And as a member of the APCCE, we believe in that, and we are trying to contribute for that and focus on that. So these are some of my observations for designing policies. If you can go back to the objectives, we have come to know about the structure of a policy, how we can design, how we can draft, what are some important policies we need to have? And then we talked about the model policies of a prestigious college, two prestigious colleges, academic policy, and then the attainment policy we talked about, and then the importance of committees for implementing the policies in an effective way to sustain the quality of the institutions. This is my topic, right? I think we have met the objectives and the outcomes are okay. If you can answer, if you have any questions or observations, if you have any suggestions also, you are welcome. Can 2 or 3 participants share your observations?
Thank you. Person on spotlight, Shiva.
Yes, Aniruddha has raised a hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anuradha, right.
Sir, we have unmuted Anuradha, madam.
Okay. Yes, madam, please.
Anuradha garu, kindly unmute your device.
Dr. Anuradha, you can speak, please.
Thank you so much, sir. We have done some work for this documentation. Now with your lecture, with your message, I have understood many important things. I hope I wish to improve my documentation. Shall I follow or shall I incorporate some of the points which you have told just now in our documentation, sir?
Yeah, please.
Regarding policies, some of the policies we have already written and completed. Some new policies I have seen. So I wish to incorporate all those things. Right,
That's
sir?
fine, madam. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Now,
Thank you. I'm also going through the messages you have given, right? And somebody asked to share the PPT on WhatsApp. You see, you just make a note. I think you have made notes, right? And then just a minute, I'm just going through. Dr. Sudhir, can you read out the messages?
sure, I'm trying, sir. I'm trying with this one. Sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, is there any other person to raise your hand, sir?
SCF4, Andhra Pradesh State Association.
Good evening. Good
Yeah.
evening,
Yes.
sir. It's actually excellent, sir, and it's thought-provoking. So the policy documents need to be prepared. They are well spoken, and we'll definitely follow these things, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for the excellent presentation.
Thank you. Some Mani Macharla and Satish Kumar and Satyalata, all are presenting that the session is quite good and excellent. Okay, thank you for your feedback. 2 participants raised their hands. Yes.
Sir, Mahesh, sir, we have unmuted you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, thank you very much, sir, Dr. Vijaybabu Garu, for your enlightening presentation regarding various aspects of NAC assessment and accreditation. And I'm very happy that you have made us understand the importance of maintaining policies and written documents in a very meticulous manner for every institute when they go for the assessment of, by NAC. So it's not so easy, sir, to understand all these things in 1 hour. So once again, I request you to share your presentation online. If it is available for us to go through all the slides once again, it will be very happy for us to understand many things. And the universities which you have quoted in your presentation are very nice, sir. Two higher educational institutions, which are very new for us. And sir, shall we observe various things of those institutions online, sir?
Yeah, why not? Why not? You can visit their websites and We can do. We need to make a lot of comparative study, to identify the best ones.
And thank you so much, sir, that you are the continuous inspiration and encouragement for us. Without your inspiration, let me tell you, sir, this program wouldn't have been a grand success like this. And to maintain very good resource persons during all these 5 days, you have extended a very good cooperation for us. And it is with your inspiration only, I tell you, sir, that we have made this program a very grand success. Thank you for being with us in all aspects. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It is,
Mahesh sir. Now I request Dr. C.A. Jyotirmayi, kindly unmute your device, madam, and you may ask your query.
Sir, just now I already spoke, sir.
Okay, madam.
Thank you for the
Fine,
given
fine.
opportunity.
Okay, madam. Thank you. And now I request Dr. Sanaj MS. Dr. Sanaj MS. I request Dr. Sanaj MS. Okay. And now my request Guru Pratap Reddy Garu, kindly unmute your device, sir, and ask your query. Guru Pratap Reddy Garu.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Guru Pratap.
Sir, if you remember correctly, in 2007, when you were the master trainer at English language fellow program held in Hyderabad, you used to tell us one thing, Confucius quotation. Tell me I forget, show me I remember, involve me I understand. So today we were involved in the presentation and we were able to learn so many things with regard to how to frame policy document for slow learners, policy document for library, maintaining infrastructure, maintaining ecosystem in institutes of higher learning. So we were able to learn so many things, sir. And I'm sure if these policy documents are followed in letter and spirit, surely many degree colleges would attain better grade from Naac. And because of your efforts and because of the able guidance of our Honorable Commissioner, sir, in the last 2 years, many of the government degree colleges in the state of Andhra Pradesh are getting better grades. So we are really thankful to you for that.
We're all thankful to the Honorable CCE, Dr. Paula Bhaskar.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Thank you, Guru Pratap Reddy Garu. Is there any participants to ask your query? You may raise your hand, sir, or you may put your message in chat box. Fine,
Yes,
sir.
Dr. Sudhir, we can wind up, I think.
No, sir. Actually, the program will continue our validity session, sir.
Okay.
Okay. On behalf of our SSN College, I thank K. Vijaybabu Garu for this session. And now, validity session will start within a few minutes, sir. Kindly bear with us. Respected participants, I request a few of our participants to give feedback on this 5-day FDP. You may please raise your hand. This forum is free for your feedback. I request a few of our participants to give feedback on this 5-day FDP. You may please raise your hand. This forum is free for your feedback. I request a few of our participants to give feedback on this 5-day FDP. Okay. Now anybody from any of our participants may give their feedback, sir. Guru Pratap Reddy garu, kindly unmute your device and you may give your feedback on this program, sir.
Sir, good evening, sir, Dr. Sudhir.
Good evening, sir.
It's my privilege to present feedback on behalf of the participants of this 5-day faculty development program. At the outset, I would like to thank our Honorable Commissioner, sir, for his encouragement and support for all this kind of activities that have the potential to transform higher education in Andhra Pradesh and take it to the next level. I thank the management of SSN and SSN College, Narasaraopet. I also thank Principal Dr. Malaya Garu, Dr. Sudhir, Dr. Sadasivareddy. Sadasivareddy was my classmate at Alagadda in 1997.
Yes, sir.
Then Dr. Mohan Garu, Dr. Sai, and all the other members of the organizing committee who have taken meticulous care in planning and executing different activities with regard to this FDP. All the topics and the selection of resource person was awesome. Hopefully, we will have another opportunity like this. And I feel very happy to be a part of this FDP because it gave us a platform not only to interact with each other with regard to better preparation for assessment and accreditation. Moreover, emotionally also it brought many of the colleagues together, particularly after the absorption. Colleagues who are working at one place are transferred to different places. So we feel very happy to interact with former colleagues, particularly the other day when Dr. K.A. Emmanuel and Dr. Paul Divaka was speaking, I felt very happy to hear their voices. So there are many other things to be presented here, but due to shortage of time, I conclude my feedback. Anyway, it was a very excellent and useful FDP. Thank you so much for making me a part of this faculty development program.
Thank you, Guru Pratap Reddy garu. Yeah. Thank you. Because of your valuable feedback. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And is there any participant who want to give feedback? That's fine. Thank you, my dear respected participants. Now the validatory session starts. A beautiful evening and a beautiful conclusion from our esteemed resource person, Dr. K. Vijayababu garu remarks. I welcome Dr. K. Vijayababu garu as the chief guest of this validatory session, sir. I request our IKC coordinator, my good friend, Dr. P. Srinivas Sai Garu, to introduce the chief guest. Sai Garu, kindly unmute your device, sir.
Sudhir Garu, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, you are audible.
May I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. You are audible.
A warm good evening to the galaxy of intellectuals, faculty members, and all the participants from all over India. I am very glad to share my happiness with all the participants on the wonderful success of this great 5-day webinar in collaboration with Commissionerate of College Education, Andhra Pradesh. Nearly 450 members all over India participated in this 5-day FDP. All this was materialized because of the great support given by Dr. K. Vijay Babu, OSD for Naac, CCE. He is the person who stood with us from the starting of this idea. At the outset, let me share my pleasure with you that it is with the effective suggestions of Dr. Vijay Babu, most of the colleges, all we heard, most of the colleges were accredited with A and A+ grade in these 3 months, 2-3 months. The whole credit goes to him. It is an honor to be graced by the presence of such an accomplished personality, Dr. Vijay Babu, OSD for Naac, Commissionerate of College Education, Andhra Pradesh, for accepting as the chief guest of the valedictory session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your beautiful. Thank you, Dr. P.S. Sai Garu, for the beautiful opening remarks of this valedictory session. Now I request Dr. K. Vijay Babu Garu to give his valedictory speech, sir.
Yeah. Good evening to you all once again. Actually, this honor goes to Dr. Pola Bhaskar IAS Garu for all the encouragement for the development of quality among colleges in the state of Andhra Pradesh. There have been several initiatives like capacity building, IT initiatives, digital initiatives, and the special initiative for assessment and accreditation. He has made it the topmost point on his agenda to get all the colleges accredited within a short span of time. And whatever we have submitted, he has accepted, and he has encouraged us from time to time in the NRC reviews. Like we're literally monitoring, guiding, and hand-holding the colleges for the submission of all the pending AQARs, and then the draft copies of SSRs are reviewed. And from time to time, we have been offering suggestions online and offline, and also through physical visits. So this whole planning is encouraged by our Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Pola Bhaskar IAS, and Dr. David Kumar Rapaka also has been a very helping hand, a very encouraging personality behind all this, because every time he would be personally intervening, personally suggesting to the colleges for the development. Whenever there are VCs, his presence is a must because he shows a lot of interest in the development of the colleges. Well, coming to the present webinar, the 5-day webinar, when Dr. Sai has approached us with a very big plan of conducting a national level webinar, he was first doubtful whether it would assume such stature. That's why he was asking me for suggesting the names of resource persons, and then I could quickly recall all my senior teachers, senior colleagues, and my contemporary colleagues, and several other renowned persons I've met during my meetings across India. Thus, Dr. B. Varalakshmi, and Dr. K. Sujata, Dr. Emmanuel, Dr. K. Padmaja, and then Professor K. Leela Mohan Rao, my guru, and then Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad, all Professor Venkatnath, all these people, Dr. Venugopal and all others were involved in this program, and especially the resource persons from Delhi, Professor Suresh Kumar Suresh, and Manju Bharadwaj and all others were involved. That's how it has assumed the national stage. The SSN college management, the conveners, co-conveners, Dr. Sai, Dr. Sudhir and all others, they have taken special interest in organizing the program in a meticulous way. And I've been watching all the sessions. They were all organized so meticulously on dot. And these sessions were conducted by Dr. Sudhir in a very meticulous way with all the technological knowledge and skill. And Dr. Sai has been after me day in and day out. Maybe he might be chasing me day and night for the completion of the program, for designing the program, right from the design of the brochure till the last minute activity. He has been with us, and we have been with him. And you see, whenever there is quality, whenever there is an effort for making quality, the CCE will always be there, because our commissioner sir always wants to establish sustainable quality development in the colleges of Andhra Pradesh. That's why I'm very happy to share that the whole webinar, the 5-day webinar, is a grand success, and the credit goes to the management and the team of the SSN College, Narasaraopet. I think all the participants have been benefited by the inputs shared by the resource persons, and I hope all the inputs will be taken care of. Inputs will be taken back to the colleges for implementation and for maintaining the quality. Once again, we thank our Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner Dr. Pola Bhaskar IAS Garu, our Joint Director, Dr. R. David Kumaraswamy Garu, and then all the team that has been working with a lot of zeal for the success of the webinar. I extend my thanks to the SSN management, the teams, for inviting me as the resource person and also for the valedictory session. I'm very glad to share that this whole webinar is a grand success, and the credit goes to the whole team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. K. Vijay Babu Garu. Now I request Dr. S. Malay Garu, our college principal, to give his closing remarks. Dr. S. Malay Garu, kindly unmute your device, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good evening, all of you. It is a matter of pride and pleasure to have the privilege on behalf of the SSN College to announce that the 5-day faculty development program organized in collaboration with the CCE, Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, on institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation in the context of National Education Policy 2020 has been completed successfully with more than 400 participants from various states all over the country. I do firmly believe that the deliberations of all the resource persons on this platform has certainly enlightened the participants on various issues regarding the process of accreditation in the context of National Education Policy 2020. I think it is more useful to all the participants and for which to get the NAC degree, NAC grade. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the management of SSN College committee, the president, Sri Kapalabhai Vijay Kumar Garu, and secretary and correspondent and ex-municipal chairperson, Sri N. Subramanian Gupta Garu, and I am all the more grateful to the Commissioner of College Education, Dr. Pola Bhaskar Rao Garu, and Joint Director, Dr. David Kumar Swami Garu, for kindly permitting us to organize this 5-day faculty development program. I also express my sincere thanks to the coordinator of the program and IKS coordinator of the college, Dr. P. Srinivasai, and vice principal and convener of this.
Sir, you are not audible, sir. You are not audible, sir. Please unmute one more time. Please unmute one more time, sir. No, sir, no. No, sir, phone low.
Am I audible, sir?
And now you are audible, sir.
Oh. Advisors Sri K. Mohan Rao and M. Anil Kumar, co-conveners Dr. P.N.V.D. Mahesh and Dr. Ramesh. Technical support Sri M. Venugopal and A. Subbarao and A.V. Ramana Reddy and other members on the organizing committee for making this event a grand success. My thanks are due to all the resource persons and the participants for extending their cooperation and support in making this program a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you to the principal, Dr. Smalay Garu. And this is a time for Thanksgiving speech by our IKSU coordinator, Dr. P. Srinivasai Garu, to the respected participants. Sai Garu, kindly unmute your device, sir. Sai Garu.
Am I audible, sir? Sudhir Garu?
Yes, you are audible. You are audible, sir.
Sir, in this context of grand success of 5-day FDP, I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our management, President Sri Kapalabhai Vijay Kumar Garu, Secretary and Correspondent Sri Narasaraopet Gupta Garu, and special thanks and grateful to Sri Commissioner of College Education, Dr. Pola Bhaskar IAS Garu, for kindly permitting us to organize this 5-day FDP. Special thanks to Dr. K. Vijay Babu Garu for this grand success. I also express my thanks to the chairman of this FDP and the principal of our college, Dr. S. Malay Garu. You know, the 5 days program was very grand success, and the person who bear the whole responsibility is my friend Dr. M.S. Sudhir, who acted as a convener for this 5-day FDP, and he is also vice principal of our college. I also express my sincere thanks to advisors Sri K. Mohan Rao Garu, President Acta AP, and M. Anil Kumar Garu, head of the department, politics department, and a special thanks to co-conveners Dr. P.N.V.D. Mahesh, in charge English department, Dr. M. Ramesh, in charge mathematics department. Also, a special announcement and special thanks to my beloved friend M. Venugopal Rao, who bear all the technical efforts in these 5 days. Because of him only, it was successfully completed. So once again, I expressing my special thanks to Technical Director Sri M. Venugopal Rao. Dr. A. Subbarao, Sri A.V. Ramana Reddy also helped to Venugopal. I am expressing my sincere thanks to all the members of organizing committee for making this event a grand success. My thanks are due to all the resource persons and the participants for extending their cooperation and support in making this program a grand success. Dear participants, we will send your certificates, valuable certificates, within 1 week or 10 days. Actually, they will come to your mail through our CC office only. So wait for 1 week or 10 days. If any problem arises to receive certificate, please contact me or contact convener Dr. Sudhir. Thank you all. Thank you, Sudhir garu.
మాట్లాడచ్చా? Thank you, Dr. P. Srinivas Sai garu. Now, final remarks. I deem it is an honor to be amid all of you online this pleasant evening on the occasion of the valedictory session of the 5-day faculty development program organized in collaboration with the CCE Andhra Pradesh on institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP-2020. I am glad to receive wonderful compliments from the participants from all over India that all the sessions are lively, innovative and informative, as all the resource persons have deliberated in an enthusiastic manner on various issues pertaining to the process of NAAC accreditation in context of NEP-2020. Thanks to all the resource persons for providing us with enlightening sessions. My special thanks to Dr. K. Vijayababu garu, OSD to NAAC, CCE Andhra Pradesh, and our JD sir, Dr. R. David Kumar Swami garu, CCE, for their continuous inspiration and encouragement in organizing this program. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the management of our college committee, President Sri Kapalava Vijayakumar garu, and Secretary and Correspondent and ex-municipal chairperson Sri Narasaraopet Gupta garu, and I am all the more grateful to the Commissioner of College Education, Dr. Pola Bhaskar IAS garu, for kindly permitting us to organize this 5-day FDP program. I also express my thanks to the chairman and the principal of the college, Dr. S. Mallai garu, and my good friend and coordinator of this FDP and coordinator of IQS of our college, Dr. P. Srinivas Sai garu. And also I thank the advisors, Sri K. Mohan Rao garu and M. Anil Kumar garu. And my special thanks to my co-conveners of this program, Dr. Pinudi Mahesh garu, in charge Department of English and former principal of SSN College, and Dr. M. Ramesh garu, who is in charge of Mathematics Department, and the attendance committee in charges, Dr. A. Subbarao garu and I. Sadasivareddy garu, press and media committee chairman, Sri P. Ramanjana Reddy garu, and the co-coordinator of our IQAC, Sri A.V. Ramana Reddy garu, and other members of this organizing committee. My special thanks to Sri M. Venugopal Rao garu, lecturer in physics of our college, for his continuous support for making this online FDP program a very grand success. And also I thank each and every person who in front of you and behind the online program. Very, very thank you, sir. And now this is the time for this is the time for national anthem. అక్కడ మీరేం చేయమాకండి, మీరేం చేయదు మాస్టర్ అందరు ఇటు రండి, నేను
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thanks to all the participants for being with us all this days.
Thanks to all the participants for being with us for all these 5 days and make this program a grand success. Thank you, one and all. And my special thanks to Vijay Babu Garu, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you. Leaving. Signing off.